Hello everybody and welcome back to our fix of Gran Turismo, where today we're jumping into a very destructive race as I test the limits in qualifying, as you're seeing. A dirt rally, essentially, race. A rallycross race in the Volvo that came out not too long ago. And I've only driven this car once for the video that I did on it, and I've never driven it off-road, so I had 1 or 2 laps of quali before the race started to get to grips with it, so I wasn't expecting too much of a good result in this race, especially since I'm only in like driver tier C or whatever. So racing is a little dirty, and luckily we have some ghosting on in these lobbies, but it's daily race A for this week in Colorado Springs. We're on the lake, and this is a race I've done a couple of times, not with the Volvo though, as I said. But before we start this race, if you do want to subscribe, we're trying to get to 10k, so with that being said, let's kick it off. So I'm starting in a 10th position. I didn't really get too good of a 2 qualifying laps, and the rest of the grid obviously did a lot more since I only had 2 laps to do, and off-road really isn't my style. But we're starting back in 10th, really behind this number 21 car, I think it is, this orange one. You can tell who I am by the red Ferrari suit that we've got on the inside, and also my POV, obviously. A bit of contact there with the orange number 21 Volvo. He does not get very happy with me over the course of this race. I did make a couple of stupid moves trying to control the car, but to be honest, this race was just for recreation for me. It was just a load of fun throwing the car around, and essentially the name of the game really is to see where you end up. Take the corner as well as you can, but it's going to be a bit of a hassle controlling it, and just try and keep all 4 wheels on the ground as you turn, and then get an alright exit. And you know, a bit of contact there, we managed to move up a little bit, and it's just trying to get past this orange number 21, the bigger round 21, as another blue car behind tries to make a little gap. Obviously a lot of contact, a lot of dust everywhere, and the orange 21 falls back a bit as you see him flying over the berm there. But he picks up a lot more speed and actually hits into me there, and he's not very happy about my overtake earlier, I don't think, so he's going for the kill. Luckily, we managed to hold on, keep it going, and not spin out. If you end up backwards here, it's pretty much game over as we go smashing into the side of the barrier. Won't be making that mistake again. Just overcooked it trying to follow everyone through, and it looked like a lot of us did then. But yeah, we're coming through, a lot of dust everywhere. The Volvo, the poor Volvo, is already battered to pieces, as I would expect. And a bit more contact as the Volvo with the spoiler on the back, the only way I can differentiate it really, goes sideways. We're still following the number 21 with 1 car between us, but I'm pretty confident that through some of the corners, especially the last sector, I could pick up some pace maybe and send it through as, the car on the left of us, separating us and 21, absolutely shagged it into the barrier there. We get a slightly better entry into that and a slightly better exit through the first corner with air. Back left wheel coming off the ground there as they really throw the back out. They do with the spoiler there, the car behind. Luckily ghosting is on because I absolutely messed up that corner completely. I don't know if you can tell, can you tell like I don't really race in dirt too much, or the number 21 goes really wide. We take advantage of the absolute carnage and manage to forge ahead a little bit. But it honestly is an absolute mess of just chaos everywhere and dust everywhere, as you can hear so much contact around. But the 2 cars we've been battling with, we managed to get in front of just about as the, orange 21 gets back in front, unfortunately, as I'm battling. Again, the car separating us, and I'm just looking for any sort of gap because they open and close so quickly when it's these cars throwing themselves around a dirt track like this. That's not really that long. It's only 4 laps long, so people are really sending it. Mostly because it's fun, but also because, if you want to make those positions up, you gotta be bold, and you gotta throw yourself around each corner. I'm being a little bit more cautious, keeping it mostly in 3rd through most of this track, to be honest. There are moments where you come down to 2nd, especially in the final corner, to try and get a bit of a better exit, because I like to brake a bit more hesitantly, but most of the time you're in 3rd, aside from a couple moments, especially coming through here on the, I say the pit straight. It's not really a straight, but you can push it up to 4th for a little bit, but 3rd is where I was really most comfortable. And I managed to get into a bit of a groove of actually managing to cull the car back, kind of, to make it so that it doesn't swing the back out too much. And I think it did help that I had traction control fairly high. Not all the way up, so you can throw the back out a bit, but I feel like I would have lost it completely trying to put the power down, because I am not an experienced rallycross driver at all. But there's a pack in front of us here that is the goal. We're keeping the other two cars behind, and I really wasn't sure whether or not I'd be able to make it up and get past anyone else. I was kind of happy where I was, having to defend behind with that car with the spoiler behind us, but the red Volvo did make a bit of a mistake there. We made contact, so I sent it through, hoping to keep that position, but in he comes and smacks me again. It's just the nature of this sort of demolition derby style race in these lobbies, to be honest, so it's nothing to really worry about. You've just got to keep on going, forge ahead, make sure that you cut off any gap there is, really, to an extent, of course. I wasn't really going out to kill anybody, unlike the red Volvo behind, but they're trying to make that gap back up. I'm trying to push forward and make sure they don't make up any more time at all, and I'm successful for the most part. But it honestly puts into perspective how much dust there is on the POV camera, like from the side of the track, compared to when you're in the cockpit of the car. Obviously, it gets a little rough when you've got a car in front and they're kicking up dust into your face, but it's a lot worse on the replay camera. It's a lot worse in perspective and hindsight than when you're actually in there trying to lock in. And it is quite a far forward view, and I didn't have time to reset it to get a bit further away from the steering wheel, so it does feel quite intense when you're in there. But at this point, this is probably the most comfortable and chill part of the race. People have settled down a little bit, and I wasn't really anticipating any more of a chance to kind of forge ahead there. A nice little kicking out the back end and then powering it through. That was a really fun part of the track when you come really close in that right-hander to the lake. Really, really cool. So we've got the red car in front, looking for a bit of a gap, bit of an overtake. But I didn't really think that I was going to be getting that, as we're surrounded. You know, we're in a sandwich of red here. Our contact there leads him to lose it a little bit and actually let me through, which, a bit of a racing incident. Maybe that was both of our faults a little bit, sending it into there, a bit of my fault for not braking as much. But we've led him to battle the red car behind, so we've got two reds battling against each other as we're coming to the end of the race here, and I'm hoping maybe can make up a couple more positions, but I'm quite happy where I am after all, since we have made up quite a few from our original 10th. But we've got the white car in front. Maybe, just maybe, if they do make a mistake, we can forge past and get into maybe 6th, perhaps. But this is the final corner of the race, and there is a big contact between the two cars ahead, which lets me through, essentially. Luckily, ghosting is on. I don't know what triggered the ghosting then. They weren't really too far left or right, and they weren't really going sideways or anything like that. But luckily, the ghosting lets me through, and I managed to get up to P5 after all that carnage. But that race was so damn fun, and I encourage you to just keep an eye out on the daily races, because this is my first online dirt race, and they do come up into rotation every couple of weeks, so keep an eye out for them. They're a load of fun. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Thank you to our patrons: Luke Bentley, Phil Irving, Hazit Mirza, Ace Gamer, AB Pickle, Jin007, A License to Chill, Sun WTF, Piosco, and Fat Controllers for supporting the channel. Thanks for tuning into the racing once more, and I hope to see you all in the next one.